I'm Montana. Oh, I have tried so many times throughout the day to get myself ready and film a video, but I'm not gonna lie to yous, I'm having a shit day, having a shit day in isolation. I'm beyond fed up. It's day 9 out of 12 for me, because my isolation got extended. If anyone doesn't know, but I'm sure you all know by now because I never shut up about it. So I'd say by day 4, fed up, had enough, done with this. Day 9, no words. I woke up this morning and I was just like, what was the point of waking up? It's actually horrendous. I won't even beat around the bush. Some people might cope with it better, but for me, I've never liked being alone, so I'm done. I've had enough. I've had enough of this. But I'm trying to keep positive. I've now only got 3 days left, well 2 after today, and it's 10 to 6, so today's pretty much over with. Fine, got my bed in 6 hours. Although I did just have a really nice wee delivery and that put a wee smile on my face. So you know I love my candles, my naked candles. These wee ones are from Sculpt candles they're called. Look, these are different to ones I've got. Like, so I've got this wee blue shell, orange lady, who really represents me when I've done my fake tan, to be totally honest. This like lilac-y pink knot is the only way I could possibly describe this. That's a visual representation of my brain. Don't know why. Whenever I receive this packaging, I just have an urge to put it on my head. I always do that. I'm not sure why. It's weird. Okay. Well, this is well and truly one for the girls. I've just really stole that title off of Molly and Ruby's podcast. By the way, which I'm now on, Sister on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you listen on. I'm on their podcast. It was really fun, although I listened like to a teeny bit of it back, and I just talk so much. I know it's a podcast, that's the point, but I'm a bit like shh, shh. And when I was hearing it, I was like, shut up Megan, shut up, like just let Molly and Ruby speak. What can I say in my blabber box? This is finally Ghetto Chat. Ooh, 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 ooh. I've been meaning to film this for the longest time. I don't know why I've always ended up doing something else, but today's the day. It is happening. Oh, this cough's really getting on my nerves these days. I'm just trying to film, stop. This actually originated this started can't wait to be COVID free. This started in the first lockdown. Oh Christ. Where I used to put on my story I used to put on my story saying let's have some ghetto chat, and it was really fun. I just done it on my stories like a Q&A kind of thing. I enjoyed it. I think you guys enjoyed it, so we're bringing it to YouTube. And so we're going to do some questions about and for moi, little old moi, and then we're going to move on to Megano's advice and thoughts. Just before we start this, we are not doctors. That is from Sophia and Cynthia's podcast. I thought I'd do a wee disclaimer since I'm dishing out advice here and I actually don't have a Scooby what I'm talking about. This is just a light-hearted, I'm really copying them word for word. This is light-hearted and it's not all that serious. If you think my advice is pish, please don't listen to it and maybe seek advice from a professional. Let's get rolling. So I was like that, you can ask me like quite personal and invasive questions. I don't think I really knew what invasive meant, because I did request invasive and I think I got invasive, and I think I said no, too invasive. Not only do my mum and dad watch this, I actually can't repeat some of these words. Like, I'm a wee bit of an awkward turtle inside. I'm not a prude in any way, shape or form, but there's just some stuff that I actually will not leave my lips. I will answer as much as I physically can. That is pretty personal. May regret oversharing the way I'm about to, but here we go. Starting off very girly, by the way. All boys welcome. Don't imagine there'll be very many of you here, but there's a lot of period chat, and I know that sometimes boys just don't want to hear about that, which I think they really should. You know what I mean? Yous are the lucky sex not having to deal with this, but you can at least hear about it. When did you get your period? I remember all of the details bar my age. I think I was 12 or 13. I know I was quite early to the game. I think I was before like most of my friends. I can remember it all so well. So my brother used to play football, and on a Saturday we'd always play a game, and my dad didn't like to take me because I was too young to stay in the house myself. And I used to go out and watch it with my dad, but this day it was raining and I thought, hell to the no, I am not going out and get soaked. So I sat in my dad's car myself. You had to be really careful not to make any sudden movements because the alarm would go off like and it was really embarrassing because he was away far in the pitch and it'd just go off for ages and I'd need to phone him like, Dad, your car alarm's on, blah 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 blah. I was just sat there like a wee innocent angel reading Jacqueline Wilson, My Sister Jodie. By the way, they books, I really wish I still had them because they would have filled up my isolation. I'd 110% still read them to this day. They were unbelievable, and I feel like they made me the girl I am today, along with Bratz dolls. I can remember the cover so clearly. It's like purple, bit of red in there. She's in a tower. I bet if I Google it, that's what it looked like. I bet. So I was reading that, and I was sitting, and I was going, oh, something feels off. And I didn't really know too much about periods back then. My mum had never spoke to me about it. I think I heard of it briefly in school, but I did not have much knowledge on this whole menstrual cycle of mine. My dad comes back in the car after Paul's football and I was like, I've got a sore tummy, don't know what's going on. Because cramp isn't really similar to any other pain, is it? It's a totally different... That's what cramp's like. All these knots, like... That is literally a period candle. Crampy candle. Get home. I think we just went straight home and I went to the toilet and I was like, what the frick? Ow! Very alarmed. So my mum got home from work and I remember I was beside myself. Like I was like, Mum, what is this? And I can remember so clearly. I can see her in my head laughing at me. I was so into my dancing when I was young, loved doing the splits and all that, and I was like, Jesus, we not can't do the splits anymore. She was like, oh my god, obviously you can still do the splits. Now when I look back, I'm like, that is funny. Why did I think because I started my period I couldn't do the splits anymore? But that was my real worry. My priority back in the day was doing the splits. I wonder if I can still do. What's you? Right, this could be dangerous because I've not even stretched. Ow. By the way, just like my tracksuit, swagalicious. Did we ever think that I, Megano Welsh, would be wearing navy and burgundy? Because I certainly didn't see it coming. Oh fuck, my bed's on up. Ah! I'm getting down for it. Ah! Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't think I've got that in my locker anymore. Oh. Sorry if it's such a bad veggie. I, around that age, was very slow to grow up. Remember, like, about that time as well, we're in the kitchen, Mum was like, oh Megan, look, you've got a wee pair of babies. I was like, no, I don't want babies. I was just very happy being a kid, and all of this shit was happening. I was like, and stuff was coming out. I was like, whoa, on the bus, I'm not ready for this. Your first kiss story. So, another fact about me, growing up, I was interested in boys. Like I liked texting boys or speaking to someone before, whatever you done. Kissing and that was a whole different language. Like the language of love was not a language I was fluent in, quite the opposite. I was not interested. I was actually petrified at the thought of it. Everyone started to like be like, oh, I winced Timmy at the weekend and John at the dancing, blah blah. Broke my VL at my grand's bit, and I was just like, whoa, wow, no me. I just was not at that point in life. I'm saving my first kiss for my boyfriend. Then I had a boyfriend, poor soul, didn't kiss him once. I went to the World's Buffet with his family and I couldn't even give him a wee peck. Terrified. And I got to 15 I was and I had my first kiss, by the way, guys. Late to the party. We actually went to Nadine's, so it was me, Nadine, another friend and two of her boyfriends, I'm not mentioning their names in case they get a bit embarrassed by the whole situation. We were playing a game of dares, as classic 15-year-olds do, and then one of the dares was, Megan, you have to kiss. And that was it. That was how it happened. I was petrified, because obviously everyone else had a bit of experience in the whole French kissing. I was new, this tongue hadn't been anywhere. I was like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. I was really like worked up, and then I just went for it, and then I thought, why do people do this? This is a weird experience, like in someone's mouth. So strange. But I wasn't that sold on it. I had a long break before my next kiss as well. When did you lose your virginity? I don't want to say that out loud in case my family are lingering in the hall. Oh, why am I even answering this? Because mom and dad are going to watch. Oh my god, don't think I've thought this through. Oh no, I feel sick of the thought of mom and dad watching this. I might just tell them not to watch it, but then they'll like, why have I not to watch it, and then watch it and then oh no. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm a big girl now. Do you know what I mean? Nearly 23. I was 16, legal, and it definitely, like, I can understand why it's not legal till you're 16. If anything, I wish it was 18 because I had to stuck to the law. Moving on. My song went. Are you and Callum each other's firsts? No, we're not. Kind of wish we were. Not because I think it matters, but it means that it would have just been with him. It'd be quite nice to think we were each other's one and only, but it doesn't really matter that much. How many one night stands have you had? 0. I've just been wifed up all the time. Obviously I've been with Callum for 5 years, and before that I was seeing a boy for like the best part of a year, and before that I was a child. So I've just never been in a position. I don't judge though. I feel like when you're young you're like, oh my god, like if you've slept with this amount of people, then no. I feel like as you get older you realise it's just sex, unless it was like fucking high hundreds or something, then I'd have a problem. What age did you start drinking? So as you probably guessed, I was a late maturer. I say late. The thing is, in Glasgow the age of you start to drink is probably quite young. So I was really late to the game, and I kept being like, I'm not interested in drinking, I don't want to be drunk, I'm just going to be so sensible. Oh honey, how the tables turned. I was kind of like last to drink out of like all my friends and stuff, last to dabble in the alcohol. I had my first drink when I was 15. I know what you're thinking, that's still 3 years underage, and I'm sitting here talking as though I only started drinking yesterday. But for like my people in my school and that, I was very late, and I think I was actually like 2 months off 16, because it was like Nadine's 16th, I'm sure. Had some peach snaps. I remember I started to feel drunk and I was like, oh, this is weird. Very quickly got a wee taste for it, enjoyed it. Here I am. How many years later? 7 years later. Biggest riot in the south side. Woo! So this was a popular one, guys. Quite a lot of people asked about this. What's your experience with contraception? Quite a good question. So I first went on the pill when I was 16. I was on Rigidivon, is that what it's called? The famous one that everyone's on. I was on that for years. Never really had any issues with it. So I thought, for some reason my pharmacy kept running out of pills, so I was like swapping between a lot quite frequently, and then I put my foot down one day. I was like, this isn't good for me, like changing my hormones and whatever's in those wee pregnancy stoppers. And I was like, I can't keep changing like this, I need to be on one and be on it for good. But I had like an appointment with my doctor, and she was like talking to me about it, saying like, oh, what one should you go on? And then I also had to mention at that appointment that my migraines had been really bad, and I was like, I'm pure worried that I've got a brain tumour. I'm dramatic, by the way, I'm a hypochondriac. I'd also been to the opticians to ask if he could see a brain tumour in my head. That's a story for another day. She was like, oh god, like you shouldn't have been on these pills that you've been on. Oh, sorry guys, my camera's just run out of charge, but I've got a spare battery, but that's also not fully charged now. I'm charging the old battery to switch when the spare battery runs out, and it's about to run out any second now. Great, wow. We're doing well here. Oh, you dancer. I think I found a spare battery that actually has full charge. So we're in. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, pill. Right, so she was like, not to alarm you, but that pill you've been on is like really bad for you because you get migraines. It can lead to strokes and blood clots. So obviously I'm now panicking. I'm about to start writing a will, designing my coughing, I'm about to go die in. I was like, what happens here then? She was like, I would suggest that you get the coil. And guys, I've heard there's plenty of success stories, and I'm sure the coil is a lovely piece of contraception, but I'm a shite bag, and the thought of that going up there, I'm not ready for that. Maybe in the next 5 years or something, but right now I'm still a child. I'm 22, I can't, no, I'm not interested. I then got changed to the mini pill. Why am I holding this battery like it's a prop? It's called Sorel. Now, it might work for me, but it might not work for everyone else, because all our bodies are different and unique in their own way. It's been life-changing for me. So the mini pill you take non-stop, like, you know, normally you take a pill for 3 weeks, you stop for a week, have a period, worst week of my life. I don't get periods anymore, and that was a big thing for me. Like, I get my periods bad. Like, I used to go home from work quite a lot of them, because like when I've got them, you know, some people get them, they're like, I don't even know I'm on my period. Oh, you don't know how lucky you've got it. When I'm on mine, it's like agony. Like, I literally have to sit like in a ball, and I get really bad back pain, I feel pure dizzy. It's just actually terrible. I actually got prescribed like pure mental painkillers for my cramp, because not even Feminax would take the touch off it. So the mini pill for me is great, so I don't even get periods anymore, and I just feel overall happier. Like, I don't think the pill ever affected my moods too much. Maybe I was a bit cranky. Whereas now I'm on this, I feel so much better, and I think it's just because I don't have the sheer dread of my period coming. So big up Sorel, but like I said, everyone's different, so might work for me, not for you. Sorry, cookie crumbles. Have you ever gone with a friend's ex? Now, when I first read this, I was like, have a hell. I don't do stuff like that. I'm too good of a friend. But then I remembered when I was 17 and things had ended with my ex, whatever we want to call him, I was distraught. I was really beside myself, needed a lot of comforting. I was at a party, I was really drunk, you know how I am, and then this boy that my friend used to like, in my defence, they never went out, she just really liked him. He was being really nice, he was really comforting me, he was telling me that I was better than him, saying all the right things, and we ended up kissing. And at the time I was just like really happy to have some love and affection. That's what I'd really been missing. In the morning, I have never felt guilt like it. Like, I've never done anything like that before. I've barely even kissed anyone, never mind kiss someone my friend liked. I've kissed about 10 people my whole life. I actually, I felt like a criminal. I went to River Island and I was beside myself trying to fold people's clothes. I'm like, it was awful, and I really learned to stay clear. There's 7 billion people in the world. A large percentage of them, probably about 50%, maybe more, are probably males. So just avoid ones that your friends have had feelings for. That's all I can really say. A lot of questions again about grooming the lady gardens. Why did I call it that? That's so weird. I always, for holiday, get a wax. A Hollywood wax. It is the worst. Maybe not for everyone else, but for me it's the worst pain I've ever felt my whole life. I would rather get a tattoo, I'd rather get my lips done, I'd rather get my eyebrows shredded, I'd rather all that shit over get a Hollywood wax. It's agony. Actually agony. I take paracetamol. I've took Codamol before it last time for Turkey, but when it's done and you're on holiday, I get about 10 or 11 days of nothing. Like, I am a dolphin. Literally seal skin down there. It's amazing. You can wear any cut of pant and there's not even a bristle in sight. It's glorious. But that being said, it's agony, and I can only put myself through that a couple of times a year. Every other time of the year I just shave. People always message me and I put up an underwear picture like, how does it look so smooth? But people are like, is this really awkward I'm saying that? I'm like, no, come at me with these kind of questions, I'm an open book. I shave with a relatively new razor, not a brand new one every time, because I use like the reusable ones, but I'd never use like an old razor. Men's shaving foam, personally, I think it's a lot better than girls. And then when you get out the shower, the absolute key is aloe vera. I haven't had a shaving rash in years because aloe vera, see if you just do that as soon as you get out once you've shaved, it just calms it all down. And ideally, if you're not going anywhere, like say you shave at night time, come in, put a big pair of baggy jammies on, no underwear, let it breathe. It's the best feeling in the world. Oh, so good. That is Megano's advice on grooming. Would you consider any plastic surgery? So personally, and I'm actually feel like really glad to say that, I actually wouldn't. I mean, these lips, oh god, they'll be getting pierced time and time again, and trust me, when I need Botox, my face is going to be stiff. But thankfully, I'm not actually like care for an actual surgical procedure. If I say, like for example, I felt really like self-conscious about my boobs, I think I'm the type of person who would do something about it. Like the option's there for a reason, and I think if you spend every day feeling insecure about something and the option's there, then why not take it? When I go to the gym and I eat good, I can actually be happy with my body, so thankfully I don't feel the need, but fully support it. I think it's there for a reason. One of the plastic surgeons. Oh! Oh, that went down the wrong way. Do you get hunters of hair stuck in your bum crack after a shower? Yes! And don't you be watching this and tell me you don't, because you must. I used to get so confused. I'd come out the shower and I was younger and I was like, no, I was like, is this growing out my bum? Because it was like long strands of hair, but then I realised it's from your head. Your hair must fall out, like cast a wee bit in the shower, and then it falls, and then it just gets stuck in there, and then you need to peel it out. Is this oversharing? Like, whoa, weird sensation that is. Should I edit that out? Have you ever been heartbroken or messed around by a boy? So, not many people know that because I've been in such a long-ass relationship. Before Calm, I did see a boy like on and off for like 9 months, 10 months. He was my first for everything. The first person I had real feelings for. I thought at the time I loved him. I thought he was the apple to my eye. But now being with Calm, I realised I didn't love him. I loved the idea of him. But I was like obsessed with him in an unhealthy way. Like I would have done anything for this boy. Like I started to change like who I was, like what I liked, what I'd done, just to keep him happy, which is so wrong. Never ever 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 ever, cannot emphasize enough, ever change yourself for a boy. As I said, there's 7 billion people out there. A large percentage of them will be male if you're into male, female if you're into female. A good big cluster of those people out there are going to like you for you. That is the first thing. If you ever find yourself changing for someone, dump their ass. Yeah, at the time I was just like besotted by him. He wasn't the greatest, shall we say. Yeah, I'd say he did break my heart. Like I know I was young, I was 17. Some people were like, you're just a baby, you don't know what it is. But I had the sore heart. Where is my heart? God, I can't even feel my heart beating. Imagine I was dead and I was a ghost. I had this sore heart that people say you get when you're heartbroken. I didn't eat, I wasn't sleeping, but I didn't want to leave my bed. I'd go to work. I think I've briefly touched on this. I worked in Build-A-Bear at the time, and I loved being the mascot for that period of time because it meant I could cry and nobody knew. I'd just stand in that big dancing bear suit like this. Welcome to Build-A-Bear Workshop. Next one, do you shave constantly for Calm? Hell to the no! I have my shaving routine. I shave like once a week, maybe twice if I have to get like content, like underwear pictures or that. Shaving constantly, who has the time? And also that would hurt. Like see my armpits, right? I kind of want them lasered, but kind of don't, because I think that would be agony. My armpits, I'll shave them and they only stay like hairless for a day. They start coming back, but I couldn't shave it the next day because that would bloody hurt. They're sore from the last time you shaved them. I think in the first year or two I definitely felt pressure to be a smooth wee dolphin all the time. But after 5 years you could not care less. I actually couldn't care less for what he sees. That sounds bad, but I know he's in the same boat. We're both two careless people, united by love. Here's a question that I think some adults would like say. I can imagine them thinking this. Do you feel like you're missing out on life being in a serious relationship since you were so young? No. Categorically no. But oh no, wee sequence that was. I can understand this because I know some people who are in relationships where their boyfriend doesn't want them doing certain things, or like doesn't want them going on girls' holidays, all that kind of stuff, and that is wrong. Me and Callum from the get-go have never stopped each other from doing anything. I've never said no to a girl's holiday, I've never had to say no to a girl's night out. I have done everything and more that I would want to do in this past 5 years. What was I saying there? I had a really good point and I've just totally forgot. The only thing I have missed out on is being with other boys, and I have absolutely no interest. I've got a handsome chap up in Renfrew that's all mine. Oh man, baby. Definitely not. I've literally can't think of a single thing I've missed out on. If anything, I think it's really nice. Say we do go on to get married and have kids, we can sit and say to our kids, see, when we were your age, this is what we were up to, and then our kids will be like, hey, I don't want to know, I like being in a relationship. Young, dumb, and in love. If you got paid millions for OnlyFans, would you do it? Tempting, because who doesn't want to be a millionaire? But, and some people find this weird, because I post photos on Instagram with very little to no clothing, like just in like really little lingerie. But OnlyFans, it's not for me, and don't get me wrong, I don't judge at all. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. Doesn't affect me, so why should I care? Me personally, I just couldn't do it. I'm saving this for my man. You need to be a very, very lucky person to get a bit of the Megano. It's like the GC, to get some of the JC. And you might be offering me a large sum of money, but you can't put a price on this, baby. Final question for moi before we move on to the second half of the video. Oh, see, when I sound choked up, I think I sound quite sexy. Do you not think? Would Callum liking other girls' pictures annoy you? So that is something Callum doesn't do, and I think he doesn't do it because he thinks like, oh, he shouldn't because he's in a relationship. I don't really know why he doesn't do it. He likes like girls like we know, like mutual friends or stuff like that, and that is so fine. Like double tap all the way, moral support your gals, that's absolutely fine. If I did however go on Instagram and see all these banging girls like wearing like no clothes and it was always like by at Castle Brad, that would annoy me. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't think that sounds psycho at all. Obviously you'd feel a bit disheartened. I don't know what I'd do. Like, because I think if I said to him that annoys me, then he stops it, in my head I'd be like, he's only stopped that because I said it annoys me. He's probably still mentally double tapping it. But at the same time, he'll still find these girls good looking, because that's the thing, like just because you're in a relationship with someone doesn't mean you don't think other people are good looking. I can still appreciate a hunky looking man, and I'm pretty sure he'll still appreciate a banging looking girl. It's just how life is. We all evolved from animals at the end of the day. Or was it dinosaurs? No, apes. Are apes animals? It's a weird one. Like it is disheartening. It just is. I don't think anyone looks at it and goes, whoa, so glad my boyfriend just liked that bang girl's picture, go her. I doubt it, but it's just kind of life. I don't know, I'd need to be in the position to really know how it feels, if I'm being honest. Right now, guys, this is going to be the longest video ever, I'm so sorry. Now we're moving on to Megano advice and thoughts. I'm going to need to take a pee break. I'm bursting, I've been holding this whole time. Commercial break. Right, I am back. Oh no, has that been sitting there the whole time? I put an ugly laptop case. Get away. Oh, and all these earphones. How many earphones do you need? Right, now we move on to the advice part of the video and my thoughts. As I said, not professional, guys. Light-hearted video. That's all. What advice would you give to your 16-year-old self? So, nice question. I would say what would I say? Be yourself and trust yourself. Like, trust that you are enough and trust that you're a good person and you're going to do good things. Like, don't be sat like, oh, who should I be? Should I be more like her? Should I be doing this? What should I look like this? Like, no, you are you, and that is good enough. I know this is so cringy, but there's literally only one of you in the whole wide world, and I just think that is so like powerful. Do you not think? Like, nobody else in this world, there might be people similar to you and alike you, but no one is actually you. So like, own that. Sorry, I feel a bit sick saying that's really cheesy for me, but that's what I would say. Thoughts on cheating? Is it once a cheat, always a cheat? I would say it's probably a bit mean, but I would say for some people they're just always a cheat. Like, some people are just not going to change because they prove that time and time again and they don't seem sorry for it. Some people are just stuck in their ways. Some cheaters don't change their spots. But other people, like, I don't know, sometimes people can cheat and it's a genuine mistake and they're so sorry, and you can see that they're so sorry and they do go on to change it and people do get their trust back. So I wouldn't say tarnish everyone with the one brush. Very dependent on the individual. Thoughts on friends with benefits? So for me, no. I'll never be a friend with a benefit. I would get too attached. That's the type of person I am. Catch the feels real easy. I just think that's an absolute recipe for disaster for Megano, to be totally honest, to end up greeting every night. Some people it might work. I don't know, it's, again, it depends on the type of person you are. Some people are more chilled and cash. That's one thing I'm not. Cash. I'm not cash in any way. On everything in life, that's just how I am. So, you know, it's not for me. Great movie though. Thoughts on the guy paying for most dates, etc. So against it. So against it. And I know people are like, oh, that's just like tradition. But I think now we're very much in a world where everyone is equal. So why in the dating section are we still saying, oh, but guys pay? That's a bit that I don't really get. Me and Callum have everything. Or sometimes like I'll buy it and then he'll buy the next one. None of us are ever, like, one never pays more than the other. Fair enough if like financial positions were different, say like you were skint and your boyfriend's like, I'll pay for it, that's fine. He's doing that because he wants to, not because he has to. I just really, it doesn't sit right with me. It really doesn't. Right, and here is some advice type ones. I don't know whether I want to be with my boyfriend anymore. I don't know what to do. I would say like this is a normal thing, especially if you've been with someone quite long. Like, something can happen, or maybe you could just feel like, is this right? What I would say in that situation is take a break. And I know some people are like, what's the point in breaks? Just break up. But you might not need to break up. I think a break is really good just to hit refresh, have some time alone. It doesn't need to be long, it can be a week, 2 weeks. I think if you have a break, you'd realise, do you miss them? Do you want to be with them? Are you really looking forward to seeing them again? If you had a break for whatever length of time you choose and you're not feeling like lost without them, and you're not like, oh god, actually could really be doing with being with them again, then maybe it's not meant to be. I just think breaks are great. It's just headspace, isn't it? I've said that like we've had loads. Me and Cal have had 2 in 5 years, but I think when they're necessary, take them. How long should the talking stage last? I don't know. I've only been in the talking stage twice. Callum asked me out very quickly, and I think it was only because when I was starting to talk to Callum, I was also kind of talking to someone else, but not like seriously. I'd never met him, never kissed him, never anything like that, and he knew of it somehow. I don't really know why, how actually, but he asked me out after only 3 weeks of talking because he knew I was talking to this other boy, and he was like, well, you can't talk to him anymore. I know, that's why I done it. Bet if I asked him, he'd admit to that now. I got asked out very quick, and to be fair, when Callum first asked me out, I was a bit like, oh, okay, Mr. Eager Pants, this is a little soon. But I said yeah, because I was young and scared. But it worked out alright, look at us now. I don't really know, I think it just depends on how you feel. Like, if say you've been talking for long, right, and you're like, I know I want to be with him. So if he asked me out, I'd definitely say yeah. But he's not asked you out yet, I think you'd probably be a bit like, well, what's going on? So I'd maybe be in that period for a while, be like a couple of weeks. And if say a whole month had passed and you were like ready to be with him and he'd not asked yet, I'd be a bit like, right, what's the hold up here? I'm a bit of a say it how it is kind of gal. I'd just say, why not ask me it? Is there a problem? Would seeing an ex of a girl you're pally with but not that close with be bad? This depends. This depends on how much you like the girl and how much you like the boy. As I keep saying, guys, 7 billion people in the world. We are spoiled for choice. There's so many fish in that sea, you can't even get round them all. I would say, how much do you like the girl? If you're friendly with her, what I would do is maybe pop her a wee message and say, hi, awkward one, I know, but you know your ex, Jimothy, we are kind of speaking, I just want your honest opinion, would this upset you? And if she said, yeah it would, you might go, right, am I going to be with this boy forever? Am I going to be friends with this girl forever? Make your decision based on that. If you care about the girl, you can go, do you know what? It's early doors anyway, sack him off, get in that sea and swim and search for some men. Or she could say, do you know what, that was so nice of you mailing me this, I really appreciate it, I'm over him. Do as you will. I think that was pretty good advice. Still can't smell. By the way, guys. Started a new job oh sorry, does that look really inappropriate? I'm just stretching. Started a new job a month ago and I hate it. Advice please. I'm your gal to come to when it comes to hating jobs. I worked in good old British Telecoms. You know, I didn't know it was called that until I left. Mad. BT for too long. How long was I there? 2 years maybe 3, coming on to 3. I hated it. Like, I know not many people wake up bouncing to go to work in the morning, you'd probably rather not. I hated this on levels you should never hate your job. I was absolutely miserable and I kept holding out because I was like, it's a good company to work for, pay's good, opportunities are good, but there's no price on your happiness. Like, if you aren't happy, then what is the actual point? Happiness is your #1 priority. What I would say, with only being a month, I'd maybe try and hold out a wee bit longer, because maybe the first month is just stressful because you're settling in, it's a new job, it's all new. After a couple of months you might start to enjoy it, so I'd give it a wee chance if you can. But if you're actually miserable, get your ass out there. There's just nothing, you should not be in a job that you're miserable in. So I'd wait it out if you can. It might pick up and you might be really glad that you did. If you can't wait it out, leave. If you wait it out a bit and you don't like it, leave. There's like people in the world, there's also a lot of jobs. It might not seem like it. I know right now the climate is a bit tougher with Rona being around, but you will get another job. These are all the things I thought of, and now look at me, living the vida loca. Office assistant, influencer, mix it all together. Get the best of both worlds. How do I solve silly arguments with my BF? This is something that me and Callum suffer from. Luckily, touch Herrywood, we don't argue over big things. We never had a real issue, which is good, but we bicker like there's no tomorrow. It would happen with anyone. Like, when you've known someone for so long, you're so comfortable with them, you see them a lot, it just happens, it's natural. Small things with him just tip me over the edge. Like, it sounds awful, but sometimes just watching him eat it drives me potty. I sound like a total bitch when I love my bits, but it just happens. I would say what you need to do, because what we got to a stage really bad like last year, I'd say, where our small arguments were turning into big ones because we just couldn't put a sock in the small ones, you know what I mean? So we had a big chat and we're like, right, we need to do something about this. Yeah, we're going to bicker, that's natural, that's normal, but we need to learn how to diffuse it and not let it explode, and that's when it becomes a problem. If I start to feel myself get annoyed, what I do, instead of being scrappy-do, which is what I normally am, I just go, right, this probably isn't going to go anywhere, we're not going to solve it, cut it out. And we just go silent for a bit. Sometimes we sit in silence for like half an hour on our phones, quite coolly in a mood, but at least we're not arguing and it doesn't turn into something bigger. And then we take a wee bit to calm down, and then we just make a joke out of it. We can just laugh and be like, oh you. My boyfriend always starts arguments with me when I'm out with my friends. It's like he doesn't want me to have fun unless he's there. I feel like this is a thing. I know of people who have this kind of situation, and it's so sad and so wrong. Like, to me, that's controlling. If you, every time you go out, your boyfriend's trying to pick a fight, Why are they doing that? They should be happy that you're out having a good time. Might be a bit sad he's in the house doing nothing, but why would you turn that into an argument? For me, that's bizarre. Obviously, if you really love him, like, try and fix it. Be like, right, this is how it is. You're my boyfriend, so you should want me to go out and have fun. This is making me happy, so in turn, you should be happy, because that's how it works. If Callum's happy, I'm happy. That's how this thing rolls. If it keeps up, you need to say, is there a bigger problem? Do you not like me seeing my friends? Because if you don't, that's a problem. You aren't going to get through life like that. We're just not. A relationship adds to your life. This is what me and Nadine always say. A relationship makes you happy. It brings good things to your life. Yeah, there'll be some bad things. You need to be there for each other. That's just life. But it shouldn't be like giving you ultimatums and like making you stress out and making you lose out on life. No, 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 no. We were born single for a reason. Unless you're a twin, you were put in this world on your own because you're fine on your own. People that you have in your life are because you want them to be there and they add to it. Does this make sense? Because I feel like when me and Nadine talk about it, it sounds like some crazy good advice, and I hope I'm getting that point across to you. How do you deal with your mate getting hurt by the same boy over and over again? Right, I feel like I have been the mate before. So when I was seeing the boy before Callum, my friends would be like, I don't know, Megan, I feel like he's hurting you a lot, like, is this good? You keep going back. And I just couldn't. I had glasses on that I could only see ahead. The only thing I had my eyes on was him. I couldn't look around and see what the problems were. I feel like my friends probably got frustrated, like the same thing over and over again, having to be there. But I had to realise for myself that it wasn't good. My friends, obviously their advice helped and it probably pushed me towards it, but it had to click for myself. So when I've dealt with this, not being the mate anymore, you just have to be there for them. And I know it's frustrating because you're like, why do you keep doing this? But ultimately they are going to make that decision themselves, and you just need to be there for them through the good and the bad. And then eventually when they get him to France, you can say, woohoo, good riddance, Mr. Man, at least I don't need to deal with your shit anymore. Thoughts on when your boyfriend doesn't stick up for you because he doesn't like drama? So Callum and drama, oh my god, they could not be more further apart. He's been like arguing with me, he hates it. He's not a confrontational person and would just rather stay clear. I can understand why your boyfriend might not want to get involved, and see if it's something small. Yeah, you might be in the right and this thing's really pissed you off and you want him to go up there and fight your corner, but see if it's small and just let it go. Don't be annoyed he's not getting involved. No drama llama. For our men, if it's something big, like really rude, really horrible, like really bang out, you need to grow a set of balls and get involved, Mr. Boyfriend, because yeah, you might not like drama, but you love your girlfriend and she's upset and it's time for you to get involved. Last one, guys. Can't tell if I've been speaking for long or short. Feel like I'm losing interest in my boyfriend because we don't see each other because of COVID. What should I do? I picked this one out because the first lockdown, when I went, what, 10 or 12 weeks, whatever it was, without seeing Callum, I honestly started to think I could be single. We had no chat because there was nothing to speak about. Like, we weren't FaceTiming, like, I didn't really care what he was up to. One, because I knew it'd be nothing. I really lost interest, and I will admit that to anyone. Again, now that I'm isolating and he's isolating, we send about 3 texts a day if we're lucky. We have nothing to speak about again. These are weird times, like really strange times. Obviously, if you're not seeing him because of COVID, you're not getting the interaction that you need. When I started to see Callum again after the last lockdown, I very quickly realised that, like, I am still interested in him. I do still love my bits and I do still want to be with him when we were able to do more relationship things. So I would say hold off until life is a bit more normal again, because I'm sure things will just resume as normal. If you have not got any other problems, I am 100% sure you will be so fine when life resumes. If there's other problems, then maybe not so much. This is like maybe a bit of a push. But yeah, I feel like life is so strange right now to be making these big decisions. Because that's what I now realise. I'm like, thank God I didn't dump him, because I'd have bloody regretted that. that brings us to the end of girl chat. I hope you enjoyed this. See if you did. Should we make it a regular thing and you can ask me different things and different advice on that, because I'm so down for that if you are. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. As always, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I love you all dearly, and I can't thank you enough for being here during my isolation, because I am going stir crazy. I'm really excited to be free and make more videos not in this room.